Ice cold beer buckets. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Birmingham institution. It's Odie's Tavern.
And New Life Art. Daniel Moore is the guy. Daniel A. Moore. DanielMooreArt.com is where you can see it. And with code TNR, you could save. Paintings like the buzzer beater down at Auburn, wrapping up the regular season this past season. Mark Sears makes the runner in overtime to get the win. He put it on canvas, the buzzer beater. Just one of many great moments in Alabama sports history that Daniel Moore has put on canvas, from the goal line stand to the gravedigger to the buzzer beater. You can get them all at DanielMooreArt.com, DanielMooreArt.com. Great piece for any room in your home if you're a big Bama fan, or a great gift as well. Code TNR when you're at DanielMooreArt.com, and you can save right there with our guy, Daniel A. Moore. All right, Tony Petitti, he is the commissioner of the Big 12.
Tyrannical Tony.
Tyrannical. So, but you got to change Grumpy Greg. He was not grumpy this time.
He was not grumpy.
What are you going to go with?
I don't know.
You were Greedy Greg?
Greedy Greg, yeah.
That's what you called him.
Yeah, I think it is more Greedy Greg.
He was not grumpy this past time. He was in a much better mood.
And I would say, king of the world, but they've lost back-to-back national championships. They haven't won national championships since 2022. I mean, think about the last time was Georgia in the pouring rain in open SoFi Stadium.
Georgia TCU was the last SEC championship. That game seems like forever ago. It really does.
And it wasn't a game.
It was not. But it does seem like forever ago.
If I would have told you that night, you know what, we're going to be going into the 2025 college football season, and this is going to be your last SEC national champion,
I would be like, no, Georgia ain't falling off like that, and neither is Alabama. Nick Saban's at Alabama. They're not going to fall off. I mean, Saban would retire the very next year after that.
Okay, I'll ask this question again 15 times before we kick it. SEC or the field?
Right now?
Right now.
Because... All right, so normally you say the field because I get all these teams. Really, the field in my mind, Lance, gives me Clemson, Ohio State.
I was going to say Clemson and take your pick of the Big Ten, right? Like
Ohio. Well, how deep do you want to go in the Big Ten?
Well, but I'm saying, there's no other conference, right? It's Notre Dame.
That's true. I got to include Notre Dame.
Got to include Notre Dame. I mean, they played for it last year. Yeah. I think they're going to be better this year. I don't know about the quarterback situation, but I think you go Clemson, Notre Dame. A handful of teams in the Big Ten, handful of teams in the SEC.
Well, I think there's 4 in the SEC.
I agree. Now, how many realistically, and I know you and I aren't fans of this Penn State love,
but I would have to include them.
Yeah. They are a realistic national championship contender.
I would say Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon are the only 3 that would worry me out of the Big Ten. Then I got to add Clemson, then I got to add Notre Dame. I think there's 5 from the field that I have to be concerned about.
Yeah, I would take the SEC this year.
I mean, I feel like it's 4 versus 5, so it's almost an even bet. I mean,
almost an even bet, and then it's almost like the do factor swinging around. I mean, when was the last time, and I'm asking, I don't know, that the SEC went 3 consecutive years without winning a national championship?
I bet you got to go back before Urban Meyer in Florida, right? Or really back before Les Miles and LSU.
Would this have been in the 90s maybe with Florida State and Nebraska? You ponder on it. I'm going to pull this.
I mean, I'm trying to remember who won those. All right, so LSU won 07.
After 06, after Florida.
Florida 06, LSU 07.
You're not going to get any of them.
Florida 08. Then Alabama started in, and they never went 3 straight. And if they did, Georgia jumped in and won one.
Yeah, you can.
So you got to go all the way back before 2006. I mean, we're a good almost 20 years since the SEC has gone 3 straight years without winning a national championship.
Okay, so I am going to take it back to, well, it's probably, it's going to be right before, well, no. So 2006, Florida, before that, Texas, USC, and then LSU split. So you got to give
credit there.
Okay, so before that, 2002, Ohio State, Miami, Oklahoma.
Okay, so we got to go back to 2.
Welcome in, everyone, to the Pennant Grace. My name is Emily Grace. This is Ush. And we cover the Atlanta Braves. We have maybe a few new faces around here. We were off last week. So if you didn't know, my name is Emily Grace McWhorter. This is Ush Sisk, and we cover the Atlanta Braves. This is the Pennant Grace, like I said. And we are eternal hopefuls.
Or masochists, Smuff asked. Good afternoon to the eternal hopefuls and I guess the masochists. So we're one of the two.
We are.
It feels like we haven't been together in like a year.
It does.
We reunited yesterday evening, and it was like I felt like I hadn't seen you in forever.
Yeah. So we took off last week along with the rest of baseball for the All-Star break, And I was in Atlanta at the SEC Media Days. You were still here in Birmingham holding down the fort.
Yep.
And we reunited last night over spaghetti.
We did, yeah. And
it was nice.
Yeah, and the Braves won last night.
It was a good day.
It's a good one. Yeah, a very good one. And just go ahead and address what's next to my Coke Zero here.
So we have some props here. And if you were here with us 2 weeks ago, we had the panic button, and this has been discussed on our show since last season. We've always had the Pennant Grace panic button. Or was that a this season edition? That was last season.
I think we discussed it, yes.
Yeah, but we actually got the prop. And after we pushed the panic button, you can go back and watch the episode, we decided, actually Ush decided, that we need another gesture of where we're at.
Yeah, because it's all in stages. So first, you hit a panic button, and then eventually you have to throw in the towel.
Yeah. So this is it.
Yeah, and it doubles too, because as Randy Savage would say, this is a crying towel. Yeah. So I'm going to hand it to my broadcast partner, and I'd like you to give it a good toss, because we are throwing in the towel on the 2025 Atlanta Braves season.
Here we go.
Now, what does that mean, everyone? Look at that. Talk about drama. The Braves are 44-55. They are 2-2 after the break. Some people are 4-0 after the break.
That is not the Braves.
Chicago White Sox are 4-0 after the break. Undefeated. Hey, Scott, the White Sox, when I say 4-0, that means they haven't lost a game since the All-Star break.
They have not, and they smoked Jim's Rays last night.
Has to be a good feeling for sure.
Any type of text exchange between you and one Jim Dunaway?
No. Jim's on his little golf excursion, so I'm letting him enjoy that.
Yeah, I think you should.
Now, if they win again today,
you
then
might need to.
It might happen.
Yeah, I think it should. The Braves are in fourth place in the NL East. They're 12.5 games back and 10.5 games back in the wild card. They won last night. They lost 2-3 to the New York Yankees, but the offense played really well. Mm-hmm. Who has a better record in the National League? The Phillies, the Mets, the Marlins, the Brewers, the Cubs, the Reds, the Cardinals. The Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants, the Diamondbacks all have better records.
So painful when you list them out like that.
It is. So, who do the Braves have a better record than? Well, Washington, Colorado, and Pittsburgh. Exactly
a grouping that you want to be a part of, right?
Pennant Grace Phillies correspondent Travis Millsaps sent me this yesterday. So this does not count last night's games. Since June 1st, the Phillies are 20-21. The Mets are 20-22. The Braves are 16-23. The Nationals are 11-30. It's a young team that's really struggling. And the best record, the Marlins at 23-19, who have now in third place. I thought this would be the toughest division in baseball, but it has not turned out that way. I still think, as we sit here in July, you probably see one team from each division. That's going to be really tough because you're going to have good teams that aren't going to get in.
Right.
But, Milwaukee's come up. They're playing unbelievable. They've overtaken the NL Central lead. So it's like, people had Milwaukee just dead and buried.
Yeah, they weren't really discussed. And for the Braves, too, that's an interesting text because I think if we would have read that a couple months ago, we wouldn't have really believed it.
Absolutely not. Somebody would have been beaten up on everyone.
There was such a discussion about how deep and how talented and how much of a contender that the division will be, and it really hasn't shaken out to be such, and we're looking at, July 22nd now.
Yeah, crazy.
It is.
So victory last night in Game 1 against the San Francisco Giants. Love that rivalry in that series. Old division rivals rekindled. Drake Baldwin's where you got to start on that because Drake Baldwin was just the star of the game. He had 3 hits and 6 RBIs.
Right. So Drake Baldwin is someone that Ush has been, and I say it every time because I want to make sure you're getting credit for this. Since the beginning, you have consistently been high on Drake Baldwin and saw the talent and the potential he brought to this roster.
I think at worst he finishes second in National League Rookie of the Year.
I don't see a reason why he doesn't get that accolade at this point because of performances like last night. And I think that it's so unfortunate because you're seeing the offense come alive.
Yeah.
And that was such a discussion of ours for so long this season. Of
I know.
Can they get a spark? Ozzie playing well. Last night didn't play as well. Michael Harris starting to get back into the groove of things. Again, last night didn't play so well. But the offense has turned a corner, and a large part of that is Drake Baldwin and his production.
Yeah, Ozzy, his last 7's batting .250, which is not great, but it's a lot better than what he was batting. 6 hits, 2 home runs, and 10 RBIs for Ozzy Albies. Michael Harris II batting .269 his last 7 with 7 hits. Yeah, so you see it, and you saw it immediately, in Game 1 against the Yankees, those two contributing, and, offense clicking, but – so why is the towel being thrown in? Somebody has to throw the ball. And, there's no pitching.
There's no pitching.
And I do think, E.G., that, I think there's a chance in August you get Chris Sale, Spencer Schwellenbach, and Ronaldo Lopez all back. Okay? But I think, and I think the Braves, so the Braves are 2-2 after the break. I think they're going to probably end up the rest of the way playing about 500 ball. And that's not going to get them close to being in the playoffs.
I don't disagree with you. I think that it also highlights the biggest blunder of the offseason for a lot of Braves fans was the ignoring of the bullpen.
Yeah, and the more and more as time has passed and the more and more I see and read, I really think that's on the ownership for not giving the money to
it wasn't
address.
a secret. You know what I mean? It wasn't this, we didn't anticipate this happening. Unfortunately for the Braves, bad luck has also plagued this team.
Yeah. Well, now what's that phrase? Give
me a hint.
Something is coming back to.
Something's coming back to bite you?
No. Does it involve farm animals?
The chickens are coming home to roost.
Is that it?
Dr. Tim Melton behind the glass. The chickens are coming home to roost.
I've never heard that one.
Because the starting pitching was so good. You did enough. I mean, it's been a complete disappointment of a season, but you started noticing the bullpen that there were stretches where the bullpen played well.
Yeah.
Now the bullpen's so thin, and the starting pitching is so thin, so there's so much of a reliance on the bullpen.
Exactly.
Like even last night, so Bryce Elder did not pitch really all that well. He only had 1 strikeout. He had 3 walks, 3 earned runs, 8 hits. But also, even maybe more important, he pitched 5 innings. That's normally not a big deal at all, but when your bullpen is as taxed as Atlanta's is, that's a big deal.
You need those 5 innings. And for the Braves, unfortunately, starting pitching, like we said, started out so strong. And there is a chance that come August that you're seeing more of that original rotation.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's too little too late.
Yes.
I think everyone would agree with us on that. But you also then had starting pitching doing so well, no offensive support.
Yeah.
Now you have offensive support, and now you have the bullpen that has always kind of been a thorn in the side of the Braves, really, really not producing. It's extremely thin. You have no options. You have no flexibility. And your backs are against the wall, and it's July.
Yeah.
It's painful.
Okay, let's say the Braves play above 500 ball. It was still not going to be enough.
No.
They would have to go on
an
unbelievable hot
unprecedented
streak.
Historical. And you would also have to have so many things happen in their favor that they're not in control of.
So the Braves would have to do to be just unworldly. And then they'd still have to have help.
They'd have to have help.
Because you're going to have clawing, tooth and nail for those wild card spots with the San Francisco Giants in the mix for that. San Diego, the Chicago Cubs, the Cardinals. There's a lot of teams
that are playing better baseball.
Yeah, that can, that are just so far ahead of where Atlanta is. And so it's not going to happen. And, let's see what we have and start making plans
for the future.
For next year.
Yeah.
Hunter, we're going to talk about the throw.
We are.
I promise. Also, shout out to Jeremy, who's not throwing in the towel yet. I love an
Jeremy.
optimist.
We do. We appreciate you.
We try to both be optimists.
Who do you think is more the optimistic one?
Oh, it's me.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There's so many times I talk you off a ledge on things.
I guess so.
In life,
really?
and in baseball. Yes. Tim, who's more of an optimist?
I think that Ush probably is more of the optimist just based on his general energy.
And that's a doctor.
That is a doctor.
So debate
I'm learning
settled.
more about myself today.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Debate settled.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the next thing.
Wait, no, say the next thing.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
No. I just sometimes Ush's optimism makes me want to punch him in the face.
Oh.
Like,
Well,
so that
yeah.
that's why I would answer that question. Like, it's annoyingly optimistic.
Yeah, okay.
That's
Like
That's fair.
You're less annoying,
yeah.
Yeah.
but he's
I'm-
more optimistic for sure.
I take no offense, and I'm with you on that. I annoy myself. Yeah, Ronnie. So, Hunter. So you got the throw.
Yeah.
In right to third to get the
So-
out that they've replayed 1,000 times and
But
somehow
I
it's
watch
still not
it.
enough.
But I watch it
I
every
know.
time,
It's
and I
'cause
want to
it's-
watch it right now.
It's magnificent.
It is so. I think what I loved about that moment, because I'm sitting there with Gurley, we were at Jake and Maddie's, and we're all sitting there, right? And we see it taking place in real time, and we're like, "This looks so casual." You know
I
what I
know.
mean? Like, it looked so effortless, and then all of a sudden, it's just an incredible moment. Umpire, he's out. I mean, it is just like.
Looked like
it's-
pregame warm-ups.
Yes, it looked so effortless from Acuna, and every time I see it, I watch it 5 times.
Yeah. So then last night with Freddie Gonzalez with the stop sign, you
He
see
says,
Ronnie
no.
score on a single
To
from
center
first.
field too.
Yeah.
Robert,
Incredible.
I've seen you tweeting, Robert. We do keep an eye on our Pennant Grace family. Basically, every day, Robert has tweeted out, like, extend Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah.
And-
I agree with him, especially in light of what we have
Mm-hmm.
on the horizon. So let's talk about that. And we'll get into more of this too on Thursday. I mean, basically, Brian Snitker's going to retire at
Yep.
the end of the season. I think that's pretty much accepted by everyone at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter, Bo Jackson vibe, that is a great comparison. It was a Bo-like play, both of them. Marcell Ozuna, who's already been benched,
Already been benched.
played. What did he play? Did he play last night? He's gotten a start, but
Few and far between
writing's
now.
on the wall.
Yeah.
They're going to see what they get. So we're thinking everything I see. Raciel Iglesias, I'm fine with that.
Yes.
Marcell, I know I threw my big baby fit earlier in the season about trading Marcell.
You
That was a
did.
different
It
Marcell,
was a different time.
and the situation was different.
It was.
And I've seen Pierce Johnson. And so I could
Yeah.
see the Braves, and obviously the Braves are going to try to be getting arms.
Right. And Ozuna did say that he's, open to a trade.
He said basically that's between my agent and AA. Yeah.
So that's kind of telling, I think, because it does open the door for that.
Let me ask
What?
you this. Let's say he leaves and maybe plays a couple more years or
Yeah.
something like that. Could be even more because he's a DH. I'm trying to remember if I should save it when he's actually gone. But
No.
what do you think Marcel's legacy will be in Atlanta?
I think it'll be good. I think that's an interesting question because there's a lot of layers to that. If you know,
So you have off-field stuff that
The off-field-
that are going to always be brought up and
But-
should be, and that's going to cloud it somewhat.
but it turned into part of his, I don't know, fandom in a way.
Well, it
Ozuna
turned into
from
one
the
of my
Braves?
great lines whenever I get in trouble.
What do you
Usually
say?
with my wife, I say, "I'm Marcel from the Braves."
That's good.
I'm
I
Ozuna
thought you
from
were
the
gonna say,
Braves.
I'm Ush.
I'm
Shelby
Ozuna from
County.
the Braves.
I'm Ush Sisk, Shelby County Commissioner.
Doesn't that get me out of any trouble? I'm Ozuna
You
from
could
the
try
Braves.
that.
Yeah.
I think it'll be beloved, and I think that he.
I think it will be too. To further complicate that, you have on-field stuff in that Marcel was very streaky
he was, but
and had some profound slumps, but there were times, namely last year,
Last year, that's what I'm
when
gonna
he
bring up.
absolutely carried the team.
and I think we often talk about how I feel like, when you go through something, and like you don't ever remember how bad it is when you're on the other side of it, and you
Yeah.
kind of talk about it, you're like, it
Yeah.
really wasn't that bad. Like
Yeah.
but really it was that bad.
in the moment,
In
yeah.
the moment, it was awful. But then, memory serves that. Then that's why people end up in situations over and over again. We're not going to get into like a therapy session here. But I think with Ozuna, we can kind of ignore those periods and stretches of his slumps because of how good it got.
I agree. He's been an essential part of this run. He really has.
really
and
has.
when he's on, he's one of the best pure hitters
Yeah.
I've seen. I love his swing. It is a sight to behold when he gets a hold
Yeah,
of one.
and I love his, walking up to the plate, his quirks.
I
I
think Marcel's going to be a guy that you're going to see. First off, I think he'll do this because he lives in Atlanta. That's like his home. I think he's going to be a guy you're going to see on a lot of alumni weekends.
I think so too.
And then he's going to be, and anytime he's shown or something, he'll get a nice welcome.
But I don't think that this is the end of his time by any means either.
In Major League Baseball?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And I do, maybe foresee later down the road him retiring in Atlanta. I don't think that'd be out of the question.
My all-time favorite baseball player, Freddie Freeman, was back, obviously, for the All-Star game, got a tremendous response.
Yeah.
Right? As expected. And even other guys who left and then retired, when Brian McCann comes back, gets a great response, right? There's a lot of guys that you can speak to that. I think Marcel would be one of those guys.
Yeah, I think so. That's an interesting conversation. What do you guys think? I would be hard-pressed to find a Braves fan that isn't going to cheer when Ozuna comes back.
I'm Ozuna from the Braves.
Yeah.
Tonight, 6:15, Landon Roop, 6-6 with a 3.27, takes on, boy, I tell you what, Braves mainstay, Davis Daniel. What's your favorite Davis Daniel moment? He has a 1.80 ERA. That's 5 innings pitched.
Good for him.
He is from Atlanta.
Where is he from?
Atlanta, Georgia.
I mean, but what part of Atlanta?
God, that's what we
Let
get.
me look.
Hey, you know where he went to school, right?
Yeah.
No.
Where?
Auburn.
Oh,
Did he really?
Yeah, Davis Daniel's an Auburn guy.
So,
course, sir.
from
Look at that.
Atlanta, and he's an Auburn Tiger.
Yep.
Look at
Look at that. Let me see.
If he went to Mount Perrin,
He did not go to Mount Perrin. That's where I went to.
then that is the ultimate. And he probably didn't, because, that is for the elect.
Stop.
Select few.
No.
EG's what was the name of that dirty prison public school you went
Shut
to? And I
up.
was like,
I'm a private school
I was like, I went to
product.
Riverdale. I'm a Riverdale Warrior. She's like, more like River Jail, from what I heard.
That is not true. I think the public school system also has its benefits too.
I need to know what high school Davis Daniel
I'm
went
trying to find it. It just
Okay.
says Atlanta, Georgia. We went to Auburn. Hometown is Atlanta.
So he's on the mound tonight, making his first start for Atlanta. There is a good chance, most signs point to Austin Riley being back in the lineup. I thought Nacho Alvarez handled third base very well. His defense more so than his offense, but it was a good short-term substitution. He looked. We saw Nacho before last season where he didn't look really like he belonged there yet. He looked like he belonged.
Apparently, he is actually from Montgomery, or maybe he was born in Atlanta, but then he attended St. James School in Montgomery, Alabama.
There you go.
So, interesting.
Sweet home. So, I want to ask you this.
Okay.
Tonight's game, 6:15, I think Austin Riley is back in the lineup. Where do you think he's in the lineup? Let's talk about lineup real quick before we close. So here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
That they switched all this up, and we've seen Ronnie at leadoff,
Which I love.
But I'm loving this 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I think they've got something here. Profar, who's got wheels.
Yep.
At leadoff. Matt Olson, best power hitter on the team, in the 2 spot. Ronnie wreaking havoc,
In the
third
3 spot.
Now, here's what I think will happen.
Okay.
I think you keep Drake,
Yeah.
the Drake, as I call
The
him,
Drake.
in cleanup. And then you move Riley to the 5th spot. Ozzie to 6, Murphy to 7, Harris 8, Allen 9. But obviously you could switch up Murphy and Ozzie. That's like last night they had Ozzie ahead of Murphy in the lineup, so I don't know exactly if that's what it is.
I mean, I think I like keeping Drake Baldwin in that spot because he's doing so well in it. I kind of don't fix what isn't broken there with those first 4 guys. And I like.
And then Riley's going to be lower than 5th. Well,
Exactly.
they may have him lower when he first. I don't think they will.
I don't think they will either. I think that would be the most seamless transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we should send that over to them.
So
just
we'll
to
see that.
if we...
And not interested in what you guys, and please on X at the Pennant Grace, let us know too your thoughts about, if we don't get to them in the chat, on what you think of the batting order, what you like, maybe something you would do differently. Shout out from Travis Millsaps. That's a Riverdale legend right there. He graduated 20 or 30 years before me, but we're both Riverdale Warriors for life. So I'm excited to see Davis Daniel, to see how he does, and I'd really love a quality start.
Yeah.
If he could, I don't know what's reasonable to expect in terms of innings pitched.
No, I don't think so either. And I think as we kind of enter the second half of the season, it is going to be a little different because I think that we're so used to, discussing postseason, and we're so used to, for the last, 8 years, having the conversation of not if, but when.
Yeah.
And now it's much more futuristic with, even from a, manager standpoint, what it's going to look like after the season, what, moves are going to be made to kind of look ahead. And it's bitter. It's kind of a bitter taste for me.
So let's talk about that manager position.
Let's pull them up. So
I've seen two names. Mm-hmm. So Walt Weiss is one of them, which we talked about on this show, that I would assume he would have been one of the leading candidates, and it sounds like he is. So he's bench coach. He's been there for this entire
run,
the 2018 run that began. He's been there on that staff, and he's managed before in Colorado. Tough place to manage.
Yep. And then you have former Miami manager Skip Shoemaker.
Yeah, who, was manager of the year in the National League 1 year.
2023. So not too long ago, obviously, when you think of, I don't know, the Miami franchise.
Yeah, which is you don't find trends with Miami. No. It's like this.
Yeah, and we used to joke that every time that we would watch a series against Miami, it was like a whole new different team that we didn't even know who we could really talk about, because you're just seeing guys that you only see once.
Smuff does not want Walt Weiss. I tell you one thing about Schumacher. From everything I've seen, he's going to have a lot of attention. You'll have several teams with openings that'll be interested in him. Yeah. And so it's going to be regardless of who it is, it's going to be a different era.
It is.
For Atlanta, because, Brian Snitker's been a part of that organization for
a long time.
Almost
decades.
40 years.
44 decades.
Close to 40 years. And he better get him one heck of a send-off.
Yeah.
And should be treated very well for the rest of his life, and should be revered. He won a world championship and numerous division titles. And I want him appreciated in his retirement. Yeah. And I don't know what that team looks like next year, too. So it's going to be a different era, I feel like,
that
regardless.
We're gonna enter.
To the point that Robert's making, too, about, we could go into next season with a new contract for Ronald Acuna Jr., where they've invested there.
And I think you'd be crazy not to. You'd be crazy.
And then winter moves, Will Michael Harris II be the center fielder? Will Ozzie Albies be second baseman?
I don't know.
If he's not, close to 50 years.
50 years.
So I had that wrong. Yeah, I couldn't remember.
It's a long time.
If Ozzie's not second baseman, my mom's going to cry.
My mom is too.
I'm sure he told me. She's like, they better not do this.
Yeah. I would be really sad too. I mean, we love him for his dog foundation, Ozzie Albies Foundation. Go check it out.
Can he play his way into it's not a contract thing, just into them picking up the option and him remaining with the team?
I think so. I think that could be something second half of the season we're looking at for him.
Incredibly popular, beloved player, and I'm from all indications, teammate.
Yeah, agreed. All right, guys, that is going to do it for us. We will have a lot for you on Thursday. We're back to regularly scheduled programming, and we love bringing you all this Braves news and discussion every Tuesday and Thursday at 12:15. And we would love for you to join us back then. And we will wait. We haven't told them where they need to go shop.
Yeah. Luckily, I wore it for them.
Yeah, you did.
How much is that doggy on your shirt? I'll tell you how much it is. It's 20% off. That's how much it is. Roback.com. Go to Roback.com. If you crave activity, you belong in the Roback family. Fill your cart, and at checkout, enter code PG20. You're going to save 20% off your entire order.
Roback.com.
Look like me. Roback.com, code PG20.
Okay, we're also going to give you a sneak peek to Thursday, because you know what we forgot to do?
What's that?
The uniforms.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Let's save it for Thursday.
Thursday, we will discuss Speedway Classic, because we got some breaking news on that, too.
Yeah, we do. I'm going to say it.
No.
Oh, no.
Teaser.
Okay.
Tune in Thursday. We're going to talk about the uniforms, helmets, all the things, and we're going to have breaking news on the Speedway Classic between the Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds.
We will see y'all then.
Early, they're